I'm Destinee. This is the Springfield XD-S. Springfield sent me this for test and eval a couple of weeks back. And so since then I've been taking it to the range a few times, putting some rounds through it. When I first got it, I was excited to be able to get a hold of it just because they're hard to get a hold of. And I was interested in how it handles. And they got in touch with me and sent this out, and I got enthusiastic, so I went right away and put like 3 or 4 boxes of ammo through it. And since then, I've taken it to the range a couple of times, had my brother and my dad shoot it. So this guy has probably about 800 rounds or so through it. And after shooting it that much, I'm leaning towards purchasing it myself for concealed carry. It's small. You can see compared to my hand, it's almost my hand size, but maybe that's not a super good reference. So I have the Camera Assist Pro. This is my full-size 1911 that I can still carry. It's heavy. It is large, but I shoot it accurately, which is why I'm okay with carrying it. Unfortunately, that means for me that I have to be more creative about how I conceal it. This is 35 ounces, and this is 21 and a half, and you can see the footprint's a lot smaller. One of the interesting things is that also brings it into the realm of those like pocket pistols, like the Beretta Nano. This is a 9mm subcompact, but size-wise, they're pretty similar. You can see the barrel is a little longer on this one. And the takedown is easy too. So I'm going to show you on this camera here. Let me get that aligned. Okay, so you can see here the slide stop and then the disassembly lever. So if you retract the slide and lock it in place, like that, you can rotate this disassembly lever until it's vertical, and then pull the slide back, and it'll release. And then you can pull the, you have to deactivate the striker by pulling the trigger. And then you can remove the slide from the frame here. It's pretty straightforward. You can then pop out the recoil spring and remove the barrel. Doesn't take very long, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. But it does make for cleaning it pretty easily. And now I'm just going to slide that back on and re-engage that slide stop. Rotate the disassembly lever until it's horizontal again. Pull back the slide, and then now it's all ready to rock and roll. Okay, so while I've got you in this view, you can see there's some nice checkering on the grips here. And this backstrap is actually interchangeable. For my hand size, I have small hands, so I like the smaller backstrap. When I took it to the range that first time, like I mentioned before, and I put like the 200 rounds through it or so, I noticed that the checkering of the backstrap actually left an imprint, a perfect imprint on my palm. I guess if you don't have little girly hands like me, that's not really an issue, but I thought it was kind of funny. Other than that, apparently my stomach is rumbling. Okay. Apart from that, I see that it's got a Picatinny, a single position Picatinny rail. If you wanted to add lights or lasers or something like that. I am interested in these sights. I'm going to show you again on my other view here. The sights are a 3-dot, and I'm pretty used to the 3-dot configuration. But that fiber optic, for me, it really just jumped out, and I was able to track it better than, like, with the Nano here. The Nano is 3-dot, but they're just white, so even though they're comparable in size, for me, that front sight just is more vibrant and easier to keep track of. The capacity is only a 5+1 for this guy. You're always going to, or I always struggle with finding a concealed carry firearm that's going to have the capacity that I want and then still be able to conceal it. Like, I like to carry my 1911, but I'll have to do things like wear baggier shirts, or like I'll wear a backpack to cover the printing, just so that I can still carry that 45 round and be able to hide it. With the XDS, it's smaller and it's lighter, so it just kind of hides easier. But in that grip, all you can fit is 5+1, and it only has room for 2.5 fingers. I didn't find that it really detracted a whole lot from my ability to control it, but if that's a concern, Springfield sent me one of their extended capacity magazines. These you can order from them online for, I think they're like $40, so it doesn't set you back too far, and it boosts your capacity to 7+1, which is more like my 1911, and then the grip is more like a full-size grip. The trigger is like a Glock style trigger, but and I'm gonna just eject the magazine, and I'm safety checking it real quick. So there's nothing in the chamber, but I want to show you the trigger pull on this. It's a bit of a take up before it fires. It's not as light as that Glock trigger, but I didn't find personally that it detracted from my ability to keep on target. One of the nice things though is this trigger is short resetting. So the gun itself looks like it's designed for concealed carry. It has all these beveled edges and just the size itself, but also it has this 1911 style grip safety, and then the Glock style trigger safety, and then these beveled edges that really lend themselves toward concealed carry. But this size, being so small, when you take it to the range, it's got some kick, and I want to show you a little footage to so you can see what it looks like as I try to handle it. The barrel is only 3.3 inches, and there's only 21.5 ounces behind this. So for me, I noticed that it had some serious snap coming back. If I kept a firm grip though, I didn't have any issues in keeping it on track, but I found on my longer range trips, the more that I shot through, the more my hands started to sting. And if you've got those bigger burly man hands, that's probably not even an issue for you. Or if you shoot with gloves. But for me, that just meant that it's not something that I want to take to the range and shoot all day in the way that I do like to take my 1911s and shoot them all day, or my big old M9. I can put 500 rounds through that and not feel a thing. I put 200 rounds through this, and I've got the imprint on my palm, and I can just kind of feel it in my wrist. That being said, it didn't take away from how well I can handle it. I can handle this at self-defense distances, keep some pretty tight groups between that short resetting trigger and that bright front sight. So one of my mantras at the range is to just focus in on that front sight, and watching that bright red, red-orange front sight on top of that black target, because I shoot a lot of times either with a black silhouette or a black bullseye. It just kind of jumps out, and that was way easier for me to follow with any of the harder recoil or muzzle flip. And that kind of lent itself, that was something that I found favorable about being able to control it, despite the fact that it's not a full-size grip. The magazines, small capacity, so they emptied quickly. In the box, Springfield sends you with these 2 flush magazines, and then they also send a Kydex mag holster if you're interested in that. And Springfield sent me with the extended bag, but I think if I wanted to conceal carry this, I'd probably want to grab another magazine, just because you are limited. The checkering and being able to customize the grip with the backstrap, and oh, also this extended magazine, you can put different base plates on it, and that will fit flush with any of the backstraps that you change out, or that you can change out on the grip. So that's a neat option for making it fit your hand. They also have, the grip has some contours to it. I'll show you right here. It has a thumb contour that I found when I stuck my thumb on the contour on this side here. It just sat in my hand nicely right there, and I seemed to be able to control it better when I had my thumb in that grip than where I had it. For sometimes I'll shoot 1911 with my thumb out like that. That doesn't seem to work as well with this guy. Seems to favor this kind of position. That was just my experience though. When you're looking at when I look at a subcompact pistol, I know I'm making concessions in being able to control it like I could a full-size pistol, just because I can't get the same kind of grip. I don't have the same kind of weight to absorb recoil. But if you're looking for a pistol that's chambered in 45 ACP that has advantages for concealed carry, the XDS is lightweight, has a small frame, and it packs a punch.